I welcome you to the Dukonian UFC Championship, and we have created this wonderful little underground boxing area down here, and well, this is actually going to be quite fun. Now, there is only a few rules that we need to follow: no weapons, no armor, no potions, and no creative mode. Dukon. But yeah, so this is the little boxing arena. We place bets on people, and we figure out who we think is going to win, and well, that's that. I'm not going to be participating though, and obviously, well, some people maybe break the rules and get shot, but oh, here we go. Red Ranger versus Fingolfin. Okay, look at that. We got some very swift left cuts there, and ooh, that was a nice uppercut right there. There's Red Ranger coming in with a kick. And there is Finn with another really nice punch there across the face. Oh, did I just see a slap? Goodness gracious. Wow, this is crazy. What a good fight here we're seeing today. These are such professional fighters, and Red Ranger is the winner. Okay, well, it seems like I have been challenged to a duel. So I will just have to take up this challenge, and we'll see what happens.
Alright, yep. Ah, man. Gotta get him. Yes! Die! I'm gonna get it. Yeah!
Now that is how you fight right there. Yep, look at me. I got half a heart left. Alrighty, so apparently the latest challenge is everyone full armor is going to fight each other in this little dinky winky ring here. And I guess we're gonna find out who is the winner. So let's see what happens. Alrighty, here we go, guys. All right. Well, I can't even. Whoa. Looks like Pendraken's going in for a few swift swings there. Fingolfin going in with some really strong. He's actually out of the ring. There's Red Ranger going around with his fire sword, and there's let's see, Kurgan. He's going around with his bow. He's oh, one's down. Who went down? I have no clue. There's Pendraken down. Alrighty, alright, keep going. We got 3 left in the ring. 3 left. Let's see who's going to win this one. Alrighty, Red's down. Kurgan and Fingolfin are the last ones in the ring. Let's see where. Oh, there we go. Let's see. There we go. Kurgan down. Fingolfin takes the championship. Now that was a fight. Alright, guys, well, welcome back to Episode 7 of Dukonians Rising. Today, as promised, we will be focusing more on the building aspect of this series. And I've already gotten a head start, but we will be doing more interior with you guys. But I have been doing a little bit of interior here. Last night I started, and it's pretty good, I suppose. A little empty still, but hopefully we will eventually be able to get there. But I'm still having trouble getting the space occupied as it should be, and also the torches and things. I'm considering using hidden lights in certain places, but I haven't quite gotten to that point yet. And so, as you can tell, there are a few things that you guys might not recognize. I do have a beta version of Monster's upcoming Conquest update. So I do have textures that you guys do not have yet. But let this video serve as a teaser to get you guys all hyped up for what's coming. As you can see, stone buttons, trap doors, invisible item frames. You got some game boards and things, but just be looking forward to my update video coming soon, in which I will for sure be telling you guys exactly what's coming. So in this episode, we're going to be filling in the kitchen. There's also a garderobe over here that apparently has been claimed by Sir Wrecked, aka I Like to Get Wrecked. He is a passerby of the server. I don't know if he's actually wanting to build with us, but he does come by every now and then. Got a great view from out here. Looking forward to finishing that wall there and getting that all sorted. That will be one day, I'm sure. But for the meantime, we have some interior to do. And so what we'll do is start off by working on the kitchen. We'll do the garderobe, and then we will do the grand finale of finishing upstairs. And also, what else is planned for this episode is we're just going to be updating the Dukonian lands, more or less. We're going to be adding in some details around here. And as you can see, Christmas festivities are coming along. We have some Christmas decor that has been added to our town square, and a Christmas tree that has been built right over here. And again, with the invisible item frames, it makes it a far more interesting concept. So really like how that's turning out, and super excited to see where we're going. We do have a official Dukonian treasury now. We got a play coming up. Today we're going to be having a wither summoning, so we might have a little intermission during our video. And then we got Smile, Change the World. There we go. But so yeah, let's go ahead and grab some blocks and get started on that kitchen. So first what I want to do is change the floor into andesite. So I decided actually to go brick because the texture of the andesite is way too large. It's for more of a large patio area or the top of a wall or something in the castle, not for what you would expect in a home. So now what we need to do is figure out the fireplace here. We're obviously not going to be using that furnace. I will be making something a little bit more efficient. So I think what we'll try to do is grab some brick or something and try to come up with a design here. So here's what I came up with. I did not want just a simple furnace there in the corner, yet at the same time I didn't want to lose the functionality of the furnace. So we still kept the furnace there, and it can still be used in a sort of roleplay sense by throwing whatever like meats or something in there to cook what you need to cook. But at the same time, you have this nice little fire here that you can just imagine there would be something put in there, and I'll figure out some kind of chimney flute or something, but you can imagine that leads up the chimney there and out. So now what I need to do is change all this wall into a mixture of stones like we see over here, so that way we have a good solid room to work with, and then we can start adding in some details. Okay, so now that we have textured the wall, also I want to draw attention to the door. I didn't want just the door to be there, just kind of like in the wall. It needed to have some sort of emboldenment in order to make. So I want to make it light in here, but also we want there to be some contrast. So what I'm going to do first is cover all of the roof with birchwood so that we can have a nice solid block to work with. I'm going to actually keep that spot and that spot open for now. But by filling this all in, it covers the ceiling, gives us the possibility of designing it and adding in some more features. For example, we can put a loft up here. Well, technically we could have without what we're doing now, but still, it just overall makes it a nicer interior by making it all filled in and relatively just kind of bringing it together. And so what we're going to do now is take some stripped dark oak logs, and as I was saying, using these as contrast really does help just by doing something like that. And we can do a ladder up this part of the wall there, and then we can have a little loft up there where we can store some maybe chests or some baked goods. So let's see what we can do. And by the way, guys, I would always suggest having shulker boxes full of the details that you think you might need to use. And so I find this a very efficient way of building, and it definitely helps me in my building progression. So the palette that I've chosen to do with the rafters up here actually kind of negates the effect of these birch stairs, but at the same time, I think it'll have a really nice look to it. So I want to make a cross beam out of oak, and then I'm going to come back through with these trap door blocks in order to fill in the gaps, just like so. So that way we have a nice little separation there. I forgot the ladders. And there we go. I had actually just enough ladders in order to do this. But yeah, so that makes it so that we have a nice little storage space up here. And now we can put crates and chests and things and just miscellaneous details to fill up the space. So there isn't really much you can do up in a spot like this, so just a few chests and things. And I do realize you guys probably don't recognize this texture in vanilla, but like I said, the upcoming update, or the new Conquest update, is coming soon, and 2 dark oak slabs stacked makes that texture right there. Okay, so now for details. My number 1 detail and idea for what we need to put in here is crafting tables. Not necessarily for crafting, obviously, but just for convenience purposes, where you would imagine they would need to put stuff. And next, what I would think we would need is something of a table. And, well, not really a table, more of a shelf here. And specifically a shelf where they can put a cake is what I was thinking, something like that. And I would like to make some kind of apparatus over this, which would be really, really nice to do. But the only thing I can think of is possibly using something like this in order to make an apparatus, or a piece of furniture, more or less. And then you can actually put something up there as well. But what's really cool about the way that this is positioned is you can take a painting and find the right one. For example, what I'm trying to find here is the pots and pans, which I just passed. It's so annoying when that happens. There it is. So the pot and pans texture is perfect for up there. It's good heights, good out of the way. Just grab it and then bring it down and start cooking. Obviously, another thing that really goes well in kitchens is a knife painting. I'm trying to find a good spot for that. I am looking around. I am not seeing a good place for it yet. How about right there, actually? Okay, great place for that. And one thing we do need is the cauldron. I can't believe I forgot the cauldron. Now, what's really annoying about cauldrons, well, I guess not annoying, it's good in some cases, but they are biome specific, so we have to work with that. So we can just go ahead and place some water in there, and then over here, maybe a flower pot is what I was thinking to go there. A flower in there would be great, but we'll be getting to that eventually. Next, I was thinking some kind of detail here, but I'm not quite sure what to do there yet. So I think some notes would go really good there. Now I want to show you something that is really neat with this new update, is you can actually make plates of food. So what I'm going to do is make some steaks. I'm going to put down an item frame. Item frames are now invisible. You go ahead and place a steak on that, or any type of food item you want, and then you bam. Well, I'm sorry. There we go. You place a spruce wood pressure pad, and it's now the plate texture there. Really, really neat effect that gives, and I really love that so much. Monsterfish is really adding in a lot of really neat new textures here, and definitely makes life so much easier in the detail realm. So I'm thinking along the realms of spices, so just adding ends, maybe little plants like that, like maybe that's like leaves of some sort of spice, or just some kind of neat flavoring, I don't know. Also, I thought that this might be a good idea up there for maybe like a wine rack or something. I know it's a really far-fetched idea, but you could just kind of put wine bottles up in those little things, I suppose. I don't know. Just thought that would be neat. Another thing that I thought would be an interesting idea is possibly this. Placing a... well, that doesn't really look like a good table for this, but we're just going to go with it. And then take a dark oak, or just really whatever, and then place a one of those on the front there. And then maybe we could use ladders for the side. I need to make myself some ladders really quick. So I can place a ladder on the side there, and now we also have some really neat buttons that we can use. For example, this acacia button. It has this neat little texture there, and I'm thinking maybe we could use that somewhere. So I'm just trying to think of where exactly that could go. So I think I'm just going to put it right there on that wall, and maybe you could just kind of hang something up there. And I do have another one, so maybe we can hang this kind of somewhere else. I don't know exactly where. I would put it right next to that ladder, but we can't do that, obviously. So let's just put that where? How about right there? That's a good place as any, I suppose. So again, those stone buttons add a really neat texture, so I put those up there as a little bit of detail. And I think we're coming pretty close to a finished kitchen. I think the only thing that we're really missing is a couple of chests. And I think that what we could do is just go ahead and place them right there and there, so that way we have a place to kind of store some food if we ever come by, and we can just kind of throw it right there. So I think that that is a pretty good interior for now. Maybe another chest up there just for the kicks and giggles, just because. And yeah, so I would say that is the kitchen. Okay guys, so the last thing we need to do for the interior is finish the living space. This is where the bedroom will be, maybe some bookshelves and miscellaneous kind of like personal details, wardrobe, and whatever else I can think of. I'm not quite sure yet, but we're gonna get there. And so that is the plan for in here. I may or may not put in an attic, probably not. I think I'll just stick with the cathedral ceilings with some support structure and whatever, so let's get right to that. So first what I want to do is I want to go along the whole length of the roof with birch stairs. I use birch because it's a lighter wood and it works really well for this instance. Also, the other thing that we'll be doing is adding trapdoors along the length side portions of the curvature so that we don't like have to use full blocks or something. We want to maximize the space as much as possible, but the birch wood in general is really going to stand out. It's going to make this whole area so much more bright. So something I want to do also is make dark oak pillars on either side of this entryway that leads down the stairs. I want this to be a big open area. I don't want it to just be closed in because we want to maximize the use of that window there. If we close this area off at all, it's going to end up removing the elegance and the elaborate nature of the window we have here. So on top of that, we're going to go ahead and add in some more support buttresses, or not buttresses, I'm sorry, support structure, and then we'll be able to start adding in some trapdoors. So another neat thing coming soon to you guys is double oak slabs, along with a few other oak slabs, lead to some carved pillar blocks. Now it is biome specific, so you can't really choose exactly what you want, but it does add a really neat dynamic for sure. But this is kind of what I have in mind for this area. I wanted the trapdoors up there, we got the support beams, and once we texture these walls, we'll be good to go. Let me get the materials for the walls really quick, and then let's get right to it. So first what I'm going to do is completely change all of this over to the yellow stucco so that we have a constant texture throughout this whole thing, although I may add a little bit of a separation, I think right on this layer. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, well there we have a great start, and like I said, I used a separation there because if we just had that constant yellow stucco all the way up, it would get a little bit mundane, and the overall aesthetic of it would just not, it wouldn't flow and not be balanced. So using that little bit of carved wood there really helps to bring it together. But now what I'm going to do is do the fireplace here, and I decided that I'm just going to follow the same design as I did below, and we're going to use brick. Well, I'm sure those parrot sounds are getting kind of annoying. I actually went out on a expedition a while back and I got some parrots. I got Mr. Squawks, I got Duke, and let's see over here. I have Frodo the dragon, I have Pecker, and Birmingham. So I got some new pets. Also, I got Miss Fox. So yeah, named my animals. I'm a pet-friendly guy. Anyways, next what we're going to do is go ahead and change all of this cobble into purple glazed terracotta. That's what you see right there. And we're going to add a baseboard all the way along the bottom edge so that we have a little bit of contrast between the floor and the walls. So let me get that done really quick and then we'll move on to details. Okay, so this is what I mean. I now have a completed wallpaper and I have a baseboard. There are a few inconsistencies which I'm sure I will learn to figure out a way to get around that. But for right now, that's what we got. I will be putting a door there, by the way. But now we got to figure out the floor texture. Obviously, I don't want there to be any type of stone or whatever because this is wooden supports underneath. So I need to find some kind of wood flooring that will work for this area. So wish me luck. So a neat thing about double half slabs of acacia is you have this alternate texture that looks a little bit more lattice than the normal. The normal has this sort of what would you consider that? Checkerboard pattern. Well, not even checkerboard, but just like a grid pattern. But this lattice makes for really good flooring, so I am going to try that out. And now I think that is actually a perfectly reasonable option right there. The orange is just enough contrast between the red and the dark to be a pretty good option for adding for the floor here. So we got the fireplace here. It looks pretty good, I would say. Good little contrast there. Ooh, I forgot to do that. Easy enough fix, but other than that, it's really coming along. I gotta figure out some way to make that window work. Obviously, right now we're having some problems that it's completely square, so that is coming soon. I think what I may try to do is add in some kind of block window decoration here. So let's see what we can do. Okay guys, so this is what I came up with. I am pretty happy with it. I wanted to make it sort of sweep up with the window and make it a little bit of a shape because it's important to have from the inside and the outside to have some sort of shape to a window instead of it being just completely square. And in this case, I'm trying to make it just a little bit arched, and we're using the trap doors sort of like in an innie and outie method to give it a little bit of a round shape there using the stairs and everything. But this gives us the opportunity to add in a lot of detail up there, maybe a couple flower pots, and then maybe a fence piece or something with something on top. But that actually, I think, is going to look really nice. We still need to figure out what exactly to do with this one up here. I may do something similar to this windowsill, but I still need to decide on how that's all going to look. But for now, let's go ahead and put some fire into this fireplace. Bam, bam. We do have fire spread off, so it makes it real easy. I do need some iron fences for that, though. There we go. Now that looks pretty nice. Now, I was thinking for this room in general, the bed should go here. I was thinking a wardrobe over on this side, maybe some a table or a miscellaneous detail over here. There needs to be just things in here that sort of implies that this is the bedroom and not like a living space, like a living room. It needs to have all the bedroom things. So let's figure out what exactly a bedroom needs. Looks like we have a little intruder here on our video here. This Thomas up there in the window. But one thing I want to show you guys is this right here. Let me grab a torch really quick. Maybe you guys can see this a little bit better. But to continue the style, I'm not sure if you guys noticed down here, but I have a style going where I arch all of the doors with these oak, well, not oak, these are actually spruce trapdoors. I'm sorry, jungle trapdoors and oak wood. They match together really, really nicely. And so using that style, I made this sort of extra large one with a little bit of ornate squiggly squiggles in there to make it just seem a little bit more interesting, and also making great use of the window just across the way. So like I said, next we got to go ahead and fill this in with the bed and the wardrobe. So I need to first figure out exactly what I want to do with this bed, because right now it's eluding me. Alrighty guys, well, I came up with a rather extravagant bed design. What I used was the new oak trap doors. I utilized the item textures of the round shield and also that Roman shield back there. We used the carved wood for the headboard, the dark oak fence gates for the whatever that's called, the thing over top. I used magenta concrete for the actual bed. Now, I know that these aren't white, but you can imagine maybe it's a sand-colored pillow. Not exactly, well, it's not unrealistic. I'd imagine there'd probably be beige pillows. And then I use these buttons as a sort of indication of golden embroidery in the sheets or the bed spread itself. I used some of these down here. Now I know that that doesn't exactly look very good. I'm going to probably put an item frame on there and do something. I'll put some relative valuables in there, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. I'm planning on putting a desk over here, and then also I'm planning on putting the wardrobe over there. Also for the top, I used some red carpet and some nether quartz slabs in order to make it a little bit more rounded up there instead of it being just bam, you know, just that's that. So anyways, somebody hit me and all my animals went all over the place, unfortunately. So now I got to figure out how to put them all back where they were. But what we're going to do now is try to finish this desk and then this general area here. Okay, so one thing I decided to do is integrate the desk into the windowsill. By using these trap doors here, it brings it all together. I went ahead and knocked in the wall and I put in those bookshelves. Again, bookshelves are biome dependent now, making it really, you know, it gives you all these different opportunities. And the idea that item frames are now invisible allows us to have books and quills or scrolls and quills. That's an empty map right there. We have this nice new 3D model of gold here. There we go. Now you guys might be able to see. You've got some gold there. And then I just kind of imagined this as a cup of water right there. I'm not quite sure how else to represent that. I know you can put it in an item frame, but it just doesn't seem the same. So we still have a little bit of an empty corner here. I'll figure out what to put there. I possibly will put actually my armor stand there. I think that would be a good idea. I put a plant over here. I might do the same for this side, but I do like the light being there. So I'll figure out what exactly to do with that. I don't really know. I'll put probably, I can put a big painting right there. That's perfect for one of the big quilt paintings. And then maybe the painting of the ships over on this side with some miscellaneous details. I think that will look really nice. Maybe a couple Dukonia banners against there on the wall. So let's do that next. And then I guess we'll do that next after we finish all this in here. And voila, exactly as I imagined this would look. I added the spears there as well. That's the jousting lance, and that is the sarissa, I think. Is that the sarissa? Yeah, sarissa and the jousting lance. And I think this really adds in some really nice color, especially with that nice big quilt there, and we got the little picture of the ship. Maybe up top here we could utilize some of these buttons to try to make that come together a little bit better. Something like, gosh, I guess I can't put that up there, so I'm just going to take that one off. Anyways, I think that actually looks really nice. So now what we need to do is figure out all of that in there. I think I may put some fancy armor right here and get that sorted out. So let's finish there and there. Isn't that just such a beautiful fireplace? I gotta say, I am really happy with how this turned out. So I did move the dock ship painting from in here over to above the fireplace because it was just too perfect of a place for that. So that's what I did. I instead made this into a display of different pieces of artwork in here. I think that looks pretty nice. And then in here, you'll see that I added in the tourney armor with, the tourney helmet with the majestic armor. I think that looks really good. Unfortunately, we have to put lighting in. I don't want mobs spawning in my house. You'll come over here. I have like a little private chair for me to sit at and just enjoy the fire. I may put a little bit of a carpet in front of here. I have a little vanity here so I can do all my makeups and perfumes and things. You know me, I like to put all my get ready in the morning. Over here it's the wardrobe. Really like this idea. Thought I'd have an actual furniture looking piece here, and so that's what I did. The stackable crafting tables makes these really nice textures right there. Really love that. A chest here, thought that would be for some nice storage there, maybe a painting above. And I think that is about it, to be honest. Oh, there is this up here. You'll notice that I added the Dukonia sigil using plants up here. I used the pine sapling in the middle with yellow and red on both sides, and then the spruce thingamajiggy, and I'm sorry, not the spruce, the oak fence, the new oak fence there in the middle. And I think that's a really neat way of indicating the Dukonia sigil. which is right there. But yeah, anyways, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think that, I think you guys, well, hopefully you guys will have gotten some good inspiration from this episode. There are a few things that I'm just going to do offhand. For example, the stable area. I still need to finish this little porch out here. Stuff like that. It's not really mandatory or whatever. It's tertiary, so it's just not really that important. I did actually finish the back porch as well. So let's go ahead and head out there really quick and see what this looks like. Farrah, we're just gonna call him Farrah. Farrah helped me make this little area here. I was trying to figure out what to do. I decided to add a little bit of brick there. It just worked out, I think, and adds that little bit of contrast back there. We framed the door. I added a cake and some flowers here. I added a little painter's easel here. Thought that this really works really nicely. You can just imagine I'd be out here artistically painting something. There's not really a painting that would indicate what I'm trying to paint in this scenery, so maybe I'm just painting as inspiration from nature. I don't know. Little place to sit over there, and that is about it. Not much else to see. This is my manor here in Queensdale, and I would say I'm rather happy with it. It definitely is quite opulent, that's for sure. No doubt about that. I was just really wanted to make something looking really nice. I wanted to make the best use of all the textures that we have, and I think that I'd say that this actually turned out quite nicely. And I love the porches, the overlooks, and everything, and that still needs to be finished right there. Get on the server, chiller. But anyways, really happy with this, guys. So let's go ahead and head back in here really quick. Be expectant for some updates around the server next episode, as there is still a lot of stuff going on here in the server for sure. And but yeah, really excited to, here, let's take all that off. Really excited to see what all, I need to take all that off too. And there we go. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I really did. It was a lot of fun. Got a lot of building done. Finally finished the interior of this manor. But there's definitely a lot more building coming up. I have a lot left to do and a lot of things planned for the future. We've been planning out to the castle and everything. So, well, we haven't been planning out. But yeah, anyways. Hope to see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. There is more coming your way, and subscribing will make sure that you see it. But anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Till then, bye-bye.